Famous comedian on Instagram, Mike Rugger, gets knocked out after sleeping with another guy's wife. So I guess it's pretty fair to sleep that after he was sleeping with another man's wife, he was put to sleep himself by her husband. That's crazy. Now that's a good title. What do y'all think? But let's just get into it. So if you guys don't know, this is Mike Rugger. He's a famous comedian over there on Instagram. He has over 340K followers, but I guess that got to the best of his ego because he thought it was okay to just go ahead and start sleeping with, people's wives, which is very messed up. And as you guys may know, I'm going to go ahead and do a deep dive on this and why this is very impactful and how you can prevent this yourself. Maybe you want to prevent your wife from doing this, or maybe you want to prevent yourself from doing this. Because I do want to make it very clear, as born again Christian myself, I personally wouldn't do this to my wife, and neither do I believe my wife would do this to me. However, we as humans, we're all living in a fallen nature. And so we can never say that any of us are too good to any sin, because all sin that has ever been committed has been committed by mankind. And so just like that person has watched certain explicit videos, so can I. Just like that person has stolen from the grocery store, so can I. Just like this person has lied, so can I. But as a born-again Christian, you obviously wouldn't, because you would get conviction about these things. And also, if you abide by the word of God and you listen to the principles that it tells you to do, you should not even get to the point where you would even cheat on your wife or your husband or do these explicit acts of sinful nature. So let me go ahead and read the word of God and see what it has to say, because I think this is very important. Whenever we look at Proverbs chapter 6, verses 20 to the end, it states, "My son, keep thy father's commandments and forsake not the law of thy mother." If you guys don't know, the book of Proverbs is a book of wisdom. And so this is why I bring it up. So Christian or not, this is something that we can all learn from. However, I do recommend that you become born again, because God will give you discernment and wisdom that you don't have if you're not Christian. "Bind them continually upon thy heart, and tie them about thy neck. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee." So God's making it very clear, if you follow the Father's commandments and forsake not the law of thy mother in the book of Proverbs, it's making it very clear, basically, if you abide in the word of God, which is a lamp unto our feet, then we shall be kept wherever we go. He will keep us from sin. He will keep us from these ungodly lifestyles and doing things such as cheating on your wife or your husband. And then it continues to state, "For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is a light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life." Correct. "To keep thee from the evil woman." Let's see what the evil woman is. "From the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. For by means of a whorish woman a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Can a man take fire in his bosom, and his clothes not be burned? Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned?" So God's basically saying that if you give a promiscuous woman the time or day, you will fall into her entrapment. You will fall into lustful temptation. And God's also saying that, can someone literally be burned by fire and their clothes not be burned? Can someone walk on hot coals and literally not be burned? It's impossible. So why do you expect to look at a woman lustfully, to give her time or day, and then not expect for you to go ahead and have adulterous, promiscuous intercourse with her? How do you expect that not to happen as a result of you checking her out, as a result of you giving her time or day, flirting with her, whatever you do, right? And so it's all a step-by-step process. If you allow it to even get to step one, then of course you're going to hit a home run with it. Right? So we have to make it very clear with whatever you do, you have to make it very clear that you cannot even let it get to step one. And this is something I've personally had to learn too as well, guys. And so this is why I'm teaching you guys, because I'll give you guys an example. So something I won't personally do anymore is I will never be like in a one-on-one meeting with another woman, right? So like, let's say, for example, if a girl named Lydia from church is like, "Hey, Nate, can you go ahead and pray for me, please?" "Sure, I can pray for you." And she's like, "Can you come over to my house?" And I'm by myself and my husband's at work and I have my wife at the house. Heck no, I'm not meeting up with her, right? Because it leaves room for temptation, right? And so you kind of have to have like wisdom on these things, guys. And you can't, I mean, obviously, if it's like an older lady, like let's say she's like 85 or something, it might be different, or she's my grandmother or something like that. But you get what I mean. So I wouldn't meet with another girl of my age group or something, even if whatever the case may be, just because that could leave room for lustful temptation. And I think that's wisdom we can all have as men and women of God. We shouldn't put ourselves in situations that could potentially lead us to lust, right? Because we wouldn't even get to that point where we have to resist temptation if we don't get to the point where we have to resist temptation. You get what I mean? So I think that's a good piece of wisdom that the Word of God is teaching us. And then it continues to say, so he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her, should not be innocent. So this man going into his neighbor's wife, he should not be innocent in the eyes of God, unless he repents and believes. Men do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold, he shall give all the substance of his house. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. So God's making it very clear. Don't despise somebody who cheated on, multiple people. Don't despise someone who robbed somebody. Don't despise someone who sold their soul for fame. Because basically these people you're despising, they're going to get a lot more worse punishment than you can even possibly comprehend in this physical world, guys. So basically, if someone steals from one house $10,000, they will pay back that sevenfold. And so God's making it very clear in his word. This whole concept of karma is actually a biblical concept called you reap what you sow. Karma is not biblical. It's a satanic version of what you reap what you sow is in the word of God. So the Bible makes it very clear we will reap what we sow. So if I go ahead and cheat on my wife with this other lady, then God's going to make me pay that 7 times fold. Maybe my wife is going to cheat on me multiple times back, or maybe it's going to destroy my marriage, or maybe I get married, she's going to divorce me, and every wife I get married to, they're going to cheat on me. The point is, guys, God will make you pay back for what you did. So don't ever think that you're going to go ahead and get away with this. Because yes, your wife or your husband will never know maybe that you cheated on them, but God knows. He sees that. He saw when you were in bed and you guys were cuddling together against his word. He sees all of that. So you wonder, oh, why do I have this disease? Why do I have that disease? Why are my children paying for it with this mental disorder or this mental illness? You will reap what you sow. You may not see it right away, but 10, 20, 30 years down the road, maybe it might even take to eternity when you're going down the lake of fire. But you will pay back for the things that you've done against others and against your own soul. And so people don't realize when they commit adultery, it's not just this lustful fantasy, guys. You guys don't realize you're destroying your own soul. And it gets much worse because it states a wound and dishonor shall be he gets, and his reproach should not be wiped away. So it should not be wiped away, guys. There's many other sins where he forgives you. And not that he can't forgive you for adultery, but your reproach should not be wiped away, meaning that there will be consequences and it will not be taken away. Once you do it, that's it, guys. There's no more God help me, because God will make you pay for the consequences of cheating on your spouse. Even though he may forgive you, that doesn't mean there's not physical consequences on this earth. For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. So no matter how much you try to ask for forgiveness, no matter how much money you give, no matter what you do, if you cheat with your neighbor's wife or husband, the rage of that person, you will never rest. Either they're going to hate you, they're going to try to beat you up, they might even take your life. It's not wise, guys. It's not wise, because I know it's so normalized. So, I want to go ahead and, plant my seed to every woman or man in the face of this earth. But guys, that's not biblical. And the word of God warns us against that, because look at this. This guy over here gets knocked out. Look at this. All because he wanted to go ahead and have some fun for a few minutes. That's a shame. He was getting knocked out on that floor. And honestly, the guy could have just taken his life like that. But guys, this is why we must listen to the word of God. We must use godly wisdom, not worldly knowledge and wisdom, but knowledge and wisdom that comes from the word of God, because God warns us about this. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions. Please don't forget to financially support me if you can. You can become a member on our website, on Patreon, also on YouTube. It helps me so much. I appreciate all your support. And don't forget to smash the like button, share it with someone that you believe this could be edifying for. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. God bless you guys. It's your boy, Nick.